Kevin Crane, Merrill Lynch is out with its workplace benefits report and found that only 24% of millennials say they are in control of their finances. Now that leaves a pretty high percentage saying they're out of control. What's wrong?
So the first issue that comes up in this case is the amount of debt that they're holding. As you would expect with a lot of millennials, they have a lot of student loan debt. I think in our study we found 40% of the millennials that you just referenced said they had an unmanageable level of debt. So that's definitely preying on their minds in terms of where else could they then save money or accumulate assets. The second thing that's come up too is many millennials right now have to rely on someone else to help them with their finances. The job market has not been as good as other job markets to get greater income out of school in terms of your first job. So a good number of millennials are even living at home. So I think with all that, that's why in the study, one of the major findings was 60% of millennials felt a pretty significant level of financial stress.
And according to the survey, they're not worried or they're not embarrassed about asking for help. Why not? I mean, it seems like there's a little bit of a disconnect there. Their lives, their financial lives are spinning out of control, but they don't mind asking for help.
It's an interesting comment because I go back to a point of where I ended with that a lot of millennials, first thing they're asking for help is they may be living at home versus getting their own place, and they're relying on their parents a little bit longer than the other generations at that age were. We also found, and this could be a promising sign, that they feel corporate benefit programs when they work for a company will be their primary source of savings. But to your comment, 70% of them say they want and need financial education and financial help. So I think that is actually a good sign that they're recognizing the way out of this is they're going to need help from others and not that they have to figure it out all themselves.
And they like to get their information, their guidance via apps and online. They don't like going to seminars like other generations. Why don't you talk about the technology and the millennials?
Right. So an interesting part of the study we found, exactly as you said, is, and not unexpected, millennials love as a first source of information online. And when we say online, it could be the web, it could be mobile, it could be chat. They actually don't like to call call centers, for example, for information. But interestingly, the one similarity they had compared to other age generations, if they want to truly talk financial planning, to your comment, they want to do it one-on-one. They don't want to be in a room with a whole bunch of other people. And other generations for financial planning felt the same way. And seminars to them are not a way that they would feel good about getting information.
Another disconnect here. Plan sponsors, however, according to the survey, are not reaching out via technology. Why not?
I think you're right about that. The plan sponsors need to catch up on this. So a couple of trends that may help in that. Millennials are saying in this study, a high percent, that the benefit plan will be their primary source of income. So they will look to use that with the plan sponsor. So things in 401k like auto enroll and auto increase, where they're just put in the plan and increase, millennials actually are responding well to that, as well as things like health savings accounts. Millennials are responding well to that. So to your question, I think what plan sponsors are going to have to do is offer incentives. One thing that was found in the study, if millennials get incentives to do things, wellness and otherwise, they're going to do it.
All right, and then finally, how does Merrill Lynch use this information to help its clients, to help those millennials and the boomers and the Xers save more for retirement?
Great question. So actually what we find in looking at a study like this is we need to treat different age generations differently in terms of the design of the benefit plans, how we communicate to those populations, in the ways we communicate. And it has really advanced in the last year or two to be far different than what used to be, which is you would communicate to all people in a benefit plan the same way. So with millennials, as I said, we're encouraging plan sponsors, add auto enroll, add auto increase to your 401k, add mobile apps, let them do things that way, add health savings accounts, seed the health savings accounts to get the millennial interested in using it, and using all this research to much better relate to that generation unto itself, and not just use a cookie cutter approach.
All right, well, thanks a lot for coming on and talking
Thanks.
about it.
I appreciate it.
And thank you for watching The Street.